Hello everybody, I'm Yang Yang. Welcome to Tea House, China Radio International's online video talk show. You can not only watch our program online at www.crienglish.com, but also via iPad. Please follow me. You can find our program here by press a teapot down here. Got it? Okay. Today we are going to have a cup of tea with a cross-cultural artist, Tianwei, who uses the art of Chinese calligraphy to interpret English words.
My name is Tianwei. I'm a painter. I just back from the United States, Los Angeles. I send my best wishes to CRI. I wish them produce more work just like a piece of art.
Hello, Tianwei. Welcome to our program.
Thank you, inviting me to come here.
I'm so happy you're here, and today I prepared organic green tea for you. I hope you like it.
I do. This is what I'm looking for in my life.
I heard that you started to learn Chinese calligraphy at the age of 5 and started to learn oil painting in your late 20s and then decided to go to the United States in 31. Why did you make the decision then?
Chinese have an old saying, which is mean you're supposed to build up your career when you're year of 30. Year 30 is very important, year for, especially for men, let's put it this way. So luckily, I made a decision when I was year 30. The reason I go out is very simple. You back to that time in China, in the art world, it's hardly see any original artwork from Western side, especially when you learn, traditional Western art form. Famous work we see all through the third, even fourth class print, which is not satisfy me. I have to see a real painting. Being an artist, you always looking for something called free thinking. Mm-hmm. I guess that's also the reason.
What was your understanding of Chinese calligraphy before you went to the United States?
If, make example, my relationship with calligraphy or with art is a lover's relationship. I started very early. When I was age 5, I started to learn this calligraphy. Of course, it's not because I fall in love, it's because my father forced me to. I have to do something. I remember that time was big cultural revolution. My father is kind of old scholar thinking. He don't think I should waste of time, play around all the time. So he forced me to study this, study that. Art is one of the subjects I have to study. But later on, I find calligraphy is very useful. Because in the big cultural revolution, you probably notice in China, so-called 大字报 is all over. If you have talent, can write on calligraphy well, you are a useful guy. So many occasions, you got a special treatment. Maybe can change your life too. So that's why I get it deeper and deeper.
Then how did you come up with the idea of interpreting English words in the form of Chinese calligraphy?
I graduated from '89. By that time, I was doing large scale of the abstract oil paintings. Then I had a solo show in Los Angeles, Armory Art Center, 1990. So I decided to move to Los Angeles. By the way, University of Hawaii Art Department offered me a teaching job. I quit. I said, no, I want to become an independent artist. So I went to Los Angeles because of this show. After show, I still keep doing it, But with the time, I find abstract painting is not attractive that much to me anymore. The reason is I'm not belong to the original group of artists who were starting to do abstract painting in 50s, 80s, And the maximum I would call myself, was influenced by them. I added some Chinese flavor on it. That's all. I don't see challenge enough. What I learned from years in the United States is my understanding art. One of the most important things for art your creative art is, if you luck, you can do creative, some original work.
What are the similarities of Chinese character and English words, and what are the differences between them?
By common sense, this is a separate two things.
Yes.
One and the other have no relationship.
So you build up a relationship.
But I try to make them have a relationship. It's a very interesting process. It's many things, since I'm trying to make something new from two old stuff, or have no relationship part, then they have new life. Not only between East and West, also sometimes for the East only or for West only. For instance, Western people, they know Chinese calligraphy, but not all their own language, their own way of writing. That's how they understand it. But they never have a chance to really get into them. Through my work, some people come to my studio, they recognize, wow, this is life. They're so happy. From appreciate surface to recognize, they have different process. They realize words meaning is like a complete, this calligraphy work appreciation process. This is normally for Chinese they can do, but the Chinese no longer can do it anymore. Some Chinese people come to my room, they try to read the Chinese words, I can't. It's also very interesting, but they felt familiar. Yeah, looks like familiar to me, but I can't read them because I don't understand English. So I think through this process, I made something interesting for both sides.
You have visited a lot of artistic galleries all over the world, and from an artist perspective, and what's your understanding of the essence of Chinese calligraphy and English words, and how to combine them?
Most attractive part of Chinese calligraphy, I believe, is ideographic meaning. This is related, they reflect human being relationship with nature. For instance, you have even you make one dot. You make a line, you make a vertical, horizontal, you make a circle. They have story behind. They trace some kind of life creatures, moving or gestures. They are not simply just making horizontal or vertical line. This is very different. And so this is one thing interesting. Second thing is the Chinese style, basically calligraphy have four style. Grass style, the way of the abstraction directly from them is very attractive to me. So I want to transfer this, such as elements, the impression, the understanding, my understanding of the Chinese calligraphy, to the new form of art I'm doing today.
Please give some names of the artist's work that you like best.
There's many. I love all of them.
Name one or two.
I love them. For instance, back of me, life. I like life. Because this piece is a piece, by accidentally, in the beginning, I don't know how to do this. I try different way. I try to wash. I try to different way. All of a sudden, I realize, why don't I make them very thick? So through this piece, it's my first piece. I make lots of pigment. I start in my mind just to think about Hoffman. Hoffman's the first guy making heavy paints in abstract paintings. So I started to make them heavy. And it looks like it worked.
I think it's tea time. Let's enjoy a cup of tea, and then let's appreciate some more of your artwork.
All right.
Okay?
All right.
Please. Welcome back, Mr. Tianwei. Please show us one of your favorite artwork.
Okay, we can look at this one.
What kind of situation did you produce this work?
I realized life is very simple words, but it means great deal for me. So I decided to do life. Then this is also first piece I did vertically, more like Chinese calligraphy way to design them.
What information do you want to convey to the people through this artwork?
Life is life. If you open dictionary, you can look at all different categories. They're explained about life. My way of understanding life is changing. This is also my newest piece. You can see this each line is from this Taiji picture, the line, Taiji line. And each line composed by this article, which I collected, a different, way of explanation to the block. And each words you can read them. If you know Italian words, you can read them clearly. Also, this contrast between readable and not easy readable. You have lots of dialogues. You have complicity, simplicity, you have fast moving, you have slow moving, you have print, you have handwriting, you have different black, you have very condensed space. There's many ways you can read them.
What do you think your experience in the United States changed your understanding of art?
I always talk to people about, how much you understand China, a guy foreigner come here, or how much you understand United States, a tourist went there for a couple of weeks. I believe there's a huge difference if you live there for 25 years. You live them, you go to McDonald's, you're waiting for a line to get this, get that, compared with a couple of weeks experience. There's many, many stories in my life, I started get it fresh or get some kind of impression about this country. I remember '86, I went to the United States, I tried to cross the road, the push button, and just by myself, I'm walking across the street. There many cars quietly waited for me. I was quite spoiled. How come this never happened in China, even today? And nobody can wait for you. If you one guy try to cross the street, all the car waiting for you, you're dreaming. See, it's like one step by the other, story little by little. Then you try to understand this is the lifestyle. You try to understand the structure. You try to understand the political part of the country. It's many, many things. Then you're starting to realize more. It's not just theoretically or just see a couple of movies. So I will say the way it first influenced me, my life, my philosophy to my life, influenced me as a person more than influenced me how to do art. Free thinking, this is very important for me. You don't have any blocks. Anything is like some part of a region you cannot touch. You're free thinking, you can touch anything you can think of.
Then when did you choose to return 20 years later?
The reason I come back, I believe now I try to think about it. I think there's two major reasons. Number one, I do not want to become an audience or observer to see this historical change in China. I would rather to witness this, because overall I'm Chinese. I grew up in this country. The change in this country is obvious, everybody know. I always joking. I remember when I first come back to China, that was like 10 years ago. I even cannot recognize where's my house, where's my home. The entire city I cannot no longer recognize. No.
What shocked you most back then?
Let's say physically, still it's like the buildings, appearance, all these things strikes me most. I always make a comparison. At least 10 years you don't go to New York, you go back to New York, there's the same. I was joking. I said there are same corners, same buildings, nothing changed. Even the guy sell hot dogs, he had more gray hair. That's all. He's selling the same thing, still there. This is difference.
So with the development of China, and you're so surprised with so many new things here, right?
Yeah.
And what does these new things give you inspiration to your work?
I will feel, what do I call them, sort of dynamic power, the sources, it's completely very fast, show up. I love this power. I think this is what I appreciate.
Yeah, from your work, I can tell that you are an artist with Chinese root, and you want to keep that and to connect the different cultures together. And what kind of hard time you have experienced during this period of time while you're pursuing your artistic dream?
Since beginning of the 90s, because I quit my teaching job in University of Hawaii and moved to Los Angeles and tried to become a professional artist, which is every artist dream of. But was very hard. I mean, financially, it was very hard. So I will say by that time, I can say I proud myself is I never paid for money. By that time, by now. I believe financially you have to survive. It's a very difficult thing. Some people choose to paint commercially. Some people choose to do other things, to find a different job to support him. Some people choose to waiting for some other people supposed to help him. So I choose to do something else.
I can fully understand you. One who wants to do something really like and don't want to give up something and to keep it. And now let's have another cup of tea. And after the tea time, we will talk about your understanding of art and business. Okay, welcome back. And you said that you have experienced a lot of financial challenges on your way of pursuing your artistic dream. How did you manage to overcome that?
First of all, I believe I love art. I respect it. I'm very sincere for this relationship. It's like somebody you truly love, you don't want to repair. So I decide never working for money with my art. Then I do something else. Luckily, just by accident, I had a chance to get into this garment business. Eventually, art also helped me because I'm a very good designer. So the clothes I designed, they're doing well. That helped me come over to today.
What is your understanding of the relations between art and business?
I believe everything, whatever you do, eventually will reach to the top, which become a philosophical issue. Doesn't matter what you do, business, professor, teaching, art, anything. What I'm interested to do is I try to visual philosophy through my work.
What do you think that art teaches us the world of business?
Not always become a slave of money, also want to become a boss of money. You know, spiritual life sometimes is more important than ego money, endless go money.
And what's your plan for the next stage of your life?
Basically, life will always have no plan because I like change, I like surprise. So I don't have specific plan. Luckily, I hope I can do what I do, what I like to do. And in the meantime, I also can support myself continuously this way.
Okay, thank you very much for joining our program.
Thank you.